Apple's stock is slipping and a shiny new feature might not be enough to stop the bleeding. Welcome back, and today we're diving deep into one of the most interesting contradictions playing out right now in the tech and investment world. Apple, one of the most valuable companies on the planet, has just announced a brand new bill-splitting feature coming to the iPhone, a genuinely useful, consumer-friendly addition to its ecosystem. And yet, the market's response? A notable slide in Apple stock. So what exactly is going on beneath the surface here? Let's start with the feature itself. Apple is rolling out a bill-splitting capability directly integrated into the iPhone experience. The idea is elegant in its simplicity, allowing users to divide expenses among friends and contacts without having to jump between third-party apps like Venmo, Splitwise, or PayPal. It's the kind of seamless, native functionality that Apple has built its entire brand identity around. Tight integration, frictionless experience, keeping everything within the Apple ecosystem. On paper, this sounds like a win. And that's precisely what makes the stock's reaction so fascinating and worth examining closely. Because if you look at this announcement through the lens of what investors are actually worried about right now, you start to understand why a bill-splitting feature, however clever, is simply not moving the needle in the way Apple needs it to. The broader context here is critical. Apple has been navigating significant headwinds. Smartphone sales growth has plateaued in many of its key markets. The company faces mounting regulatory pressure in Europe and increasing scrutiny of its App Store practices, which directly threatens a revenue stream that generates billions annually. Meanwhile, competition from Android manufacturers, particularly in China, continues to intensify. Huawei's resurgence and aggressive pricing from brands like Xiaomi are eating into market share that Apple once held more firmly. Now, investors aren't just buying Apple's next quarter, they're buying the narrative of Apple's long-term growth engine. And that engine, for the past several years, has been the services division. Apple Pay, iCloud subscriptions, the App Store, these are the high-margin businesses that have kept Wall Street optimistic even as hardware growth slowed. So when Apple introduces a bill-splitting feature, savvy investors are immediately asking a deeper question. Does this meaningfully expand Apple Pay's footprint and transaction volume? Or is it simply a defensive move to keep users from drifting toward competing payment platforms? That distinction matters enormously. If this feature drives genuine adoption of Apple Pay among users who previously relied on third-party apps, it could incrementally boost services revenue. But the skepticism in the market suggests analysts aren't yet convinced this moves the needle significantly enough. We're talking about a feature entering an already crowded space, competing against deeply entrenched habits and apps that have loyal, dedicated user bases. There's also a timing consideration that deserves attention. Launching a consumer convenience feature when the broader market is watching Apple for signals about its AI strategy, its Vision Pro trajectory, and its competitive positioning against Google and Microsoft, it can feel like Apple is playing small ball when investors want to see grand slams. Now, to be fair, not every announcement needs to be a revolutionary product launch. Feature additions like this are the unglamorous but necessary work of maintaining the stickiness of an ecosystem. And Apple's ecosystem stickiness is arguably its most powerful competitive moat. Every additional thread that ties a user deeper into Apple's world, whether it's bill splitting, health tracking, or smart home integration, is another reason that customer stays for the next iPhone, the next MacBook, the next subscription renewal. But here's the question that should keep every Apple investor and competitor up at night. In a world where AI is fundamentally reshaping what technology can do, is ecosystem stickiness alone enough to justify Apple's premium valuation, or does the company need to show us something truly transformational, and soon?